This Renault sounds so good. Hey guys, and welcome back to another F1 2020 video. As you can see, my quickest lap time here around Spain was 1 minute 15 flat pretty much, so I'm not sure what that is in comparison to F1 2019, but I want to say that it is a lot faster in terms of cornering performance. The aerodynamics just carries you so much easier through corners now. The curbing through turns 1 and 2 here are a lot easier to take. This right-hander is so easy, it's super flat. You can run lower downforce, but I was running a little bit higher than I needed to, I think, for this track in this car. But it was just easy flat through that right-hander. You can get on the power a whole lot easier because you're just basically already turned the car in because of the aerodynamic performance of the car in comparison to F1 2019. Going through this chicane here, it's a lot easier to take than it was in F1 2019. The third sector has been completely reprofiled. This like little tight section here, this little chicane, is so much easier and more satisfying to drive than it was in F1 2019. It's just, I think it's what it's meant to be in real life, is what the F1 drivers were commenting on. But yeah, it's just so much more fun to drive this track now. This track was pretty average for me, like in terms of performance and enjoying just driving here, but now it's really fun to drive. I enjoy it a whole lot more. Like I said, this right-hander is so much easier to take. It's easy flat, and yeah. So other things I want to talk about is you're now allowed to run whatever tire pressure you want on each individual tire. You can now adjust left and right tires for tire pressure. I think that'll be really interesting to see what people come up with, and I have no idea what I'll do with it. This corner as well, this uphill right-hander is easy flat in a high-performance car like a Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull. You can take it flat out in one of the lower-performing cars, but you need more aero, I think, on the car itself. But yeah, I think it's possible, probably even with the Williams, if you run enough aero on it. So yeah, don't be discouraged that I almost got the car unsettled through there. It's just because I'm running a super aggressive setup, going through this track, trying to set a decent lap time in comparison to what I set with the fastest car around this track. It's about a second slower in this Renault at the moment. And yeah, I think you can easily set a 1 minute 14 in the Merc around this track. I think it'll be quite easy to do once people understand the setups a whole lot better, because I haven't been playing this game obviously for that long yet. And yeah, there's a whole lot of improvements to come from everyone developing their own setup and finding new ways to exploit track limits, I'm sure, around the game. So yeah, Codemasters have really done a good job here of improving this track. There is like basically a touch up to every track I've driven so far, and I'd say it's an improvement to every track that I have driven so far as well. So it's just more enjoyable to drive than any track on F1 2019 in my opinion so far. With the setup, I went very aggressive, so that way you can rotate the car more through the corner. I found that one like issue, or not really an issue, is just the way to try and overcome getting faster around the track was to try and find a way to rotate the car faster while trying to use less aero or get less drag. And I guess you just have to run a stiffer car in some aspects and try and find a way to make the car more oversteery without using aerodynamics. But I am running a fair bit of aero on this car, and I found that having almost like a balanced setting, like wing setting, is pretty good, or even having a higher front wing lets you have a more floaty rear end, so that way when you're going through long winding corners, you can just hit the throttle or pick up the throttle a little bit more, and then it will help rotate the car, because with the force feedback in this game, it's a whole lot easier to know how close you are to the edge in regards to spinning, and therefore you can dance around the edge a whole lot more without spinning and use the car like throttle to try and help turn the car in that aspect. So that way through long speed corners you get that extra rotation that, like I said, Tyrrell Limitless always talks about, to try and be faster. And you can't use downshifting to your advantage anymore. You can't spam down from 8th gear to 1st gear anymore. It will slow you down midway through the gears. So they've removed that from the game, which is good. And yeah, you have to find obviously the better performance in the car through the setup itself, and that's the way it should be with the game. So hopefully the F1 drivers notice the improvement, and hopefully this way we'll see more F1 drivers play the F1 games and have a better series when we have like virtual GPs as such. Anyway, for the setup, I was running 5.5 wings, I think. Yeah, or 5.6 wings. Right, left camber angles. Really stiff roll bars, and pretty normal ride height, and just a really stiff rear suspension. As you can see in the top right and bottom right corner, the graphics have been freshly updated from Codemasters, so that looks nice as well. But keep in mind that this build is work in progress. The Codemasters can obviously improve the game and make changes yet before the game is released, so take all this with a grain of salt. Obviously this will provide a useful insight as to what's to come with the game, so it is promising to see all these good things coming to the game itself already this early on during the advertising life cycle. I actually went back into the garage and switched my wings to 5.5 again because I was getting not too much understeer, but it helps having, once again, like I already said, a balanced wing set. That way you can try to rotate the car better, especially through corners like turn 3 at Spain. So as you can see, I'm already going great. Oh, never mind, I've spun the car. Once again, if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to address them in the next video. Also, let me know what you want to see next in the next video. I'll be having a giveaway also coming up soon when the F1 2020 game is released, so if you want to participate in that when I do announce the giveaway, it'll be to do with Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to support the channel and stay up to date and get notified whenever I release new content, especially based around the F1 2020 game. I've been sinking a fair few hours into this game already, just trying to get a better understanding for the handling model so I can give you guys a more accurate representation. Like overall, it feels a whole lot better. You feel a lot more through the force feedback in the controller, at least. When it comes to talking about the wheel versus the controller, I am not sure yet how those two devices stack up against each other, so it'll be really interesting to see how that turns out. I think the car also feels a bit more responsive, if that makes sense, on the controller. I haven't come across any instances where I've felt disadvantaged by input lag at the moment, so that's also a good thing. But I guess we'll have to find out when it comes to tracks like Monaco, whether or not the controller is going to be disadvantaged at all. But yeah, obviously I do expect the wheel to be the best device to use the game on. You spend money on a good wheel, you expect to get those results and that kind of quality back from it anyways. There is a bunch of transferable skills that you can take from games like F1 2018, 2019 into 2020. So don't be discouraged. Like if you feel like it's going to be starting from brand new again, no, it's not. You do have a lot of familiarities with the old games, but there is a whole bunch new characteristics to the handling model, which are positive improvements to the game. So that's always good to see. Codemasters updating like all these little intricacies in the game. Every iteration they release of the new F1 series. So Cody's have done a pretty good job so far from what I understand, and I am looking forward to see what they release in the future. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to be releasing a whole bunch more videos based on F1 2020, so stay tuned for that, and I look forward to see what you guys think of the new games so far. As usual, I'm going to put raw footage of the game at the end of this video of a hot lap that I did. I think it was the quickest lap I managed to do in the Renault. So enjoy that, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe on the video if you want to help the channel out, and I'll see you all in a brand new one.